Okay. So in last class we discussed about different data types in Python, and today we'll continue from there. So first we have to consider the last data type, which is dictionary. Okay. So this is nothing but, can use it like, so this is nothing but collection of elements which are unordered, and values are in pairs called as key value pairs. So basically this can be defined as a collection of elements which are unordered, and values are in pairs. Pairs called, these pairs are called key value pairs. Okay, these pairs are called as key value pairs. And so here we'll be having collection of elements which are unordered, and previous data sets or data types we said that they are orderly arranged. Okay? But in here we are having unordered arrangement of elements. Okay? And the values are stored in this dictionary as pairs. Okay? So, and these pairs are called as key value pairs. And so one of the important uh, property of this dictionary is that if you want to retrieve any data from dictionary, you need to know what is the key associated with that. If you want to get any value from the dictionary, then you should know what is the key associated with that. Then only you can get that particular value. Okay, that is the one of the important property. You can say that one of the best function or property, you can say, of dictionary is that one should know the key of the value to be retrieved from the dictionary. So if you want to get the value, then you should know the key associated with that. Then only you can get it. Okay, that is the dictionary data type, one of the important function or property of this dictionary. Okay, now we'll discuss some of the methods or operations that we can do with this dictionary in Python. So first one is, as we said, these values are paired. Okay, so paired with a key. So we need both this key and value if we want to define a dictionary. So if you consider dictionary, for example, D, you can define this as D equal to, we use this curly bracket again. But here we need a key for each value. So this first element 1, which is key, and this is my value, for example my string sharp, and another key 2 which is having value, for example John, and 3 I'll write it as some Jack. So these are my keys. This 1, 2, and this 3. These are my keys, and so these are my keys, and this is the associated value in the dictionary. So if you know this key only, then only you can get these values. So how we can get this data from dictionary? If you in programming, if you take d of, for example, 1, then this will give you the value associated with this key 1. Okay, so then we'll get sharp. Okay, if you print that, then you can directly get this string sharp. There will not be any quotes. And if you want to get the third element, or this jack value jack, then you have to write d of 3. So you have to write key inside this square bracket. Then we'll get the value associated with that particular from the dictionary. And for example, if you write something like d of 7, okay, then this will give you error, or it will give you none. Okay, so because it is not there, this element is not there, particular element is not there. So this operation is not possible, or this will not give you anything. And if you can also get from this dictionary, you can also use the function uh, dictionary dot get. For example, if you write d dot get 1, this also will give you the first, that is the value associated with the key 1, that will be printed. So this will give you, again this will give you sharp. So this function also you can use d dot get 1. Okay, as in here also, if you write for example print d dot get some 7, something like that, then you will be getting none, because there is no such value in this uh, dictionary. There is no such key. Basically, there is no such key 7 in this dictionary. Then you will get none. And if you want to get something else instead of none, then you can write it like print, in this case d dot get 7. So instead of writing this 7 alone, you can write it like it get 7 comma then not found. So if the key is not there, then it will print this not found string. Okay, so then it goes this print, and then this will give you result as not found. So this is also possible in dictionary data. Okay. Also, we can make dictionary by using lists. If you have two lists, for example, I am having list E, as so I'm making list. We have to use square bracket. I'm using sheriff, then John, then Jack, then I'm having values as another list. So here I will use, for example, 39, some 50, and then I have some 45, some values. I'm choosing these values randomly. So by using these two lists, we can make dictionary by like this, b equal to, there you have to take this dictionary of, so can also make this process smaller. Okay? That will convert that particular this list into dictionary. So dictionary dict of, then I have to use zip. I have to zip these two lists together. Zip of key comma values. Okay. Now, if you print this one, then you will be getting dictionary. So if you execute this one, then you'll be getting a dictionary like first the key will be sharp. Okay. In this case, key will be sharp and equal to sorry. Key will be sharp. Then we have associated value which is 39. And similarly, we have the next key which is John, and it is this comma will not be there. John, and associated value is 50. Similarly we have this Jack, next value, sorry, next key, and the value is 45. So in this way you can create the dictionary by using lists. And if you want to add any element to this dictionary, for example, if you want to add this element to this dictionary D, new values and keys into this dictionary, then we have to use this function D of, for example, if you want Laura as the key, okay, and the corresponding value I have to write equal to some 100, for example. So if you do this and if you print D again, print D dictionary, then we will be getting all these values, Sharaf, 39, from other values also, and at the end we will be having this new key which is Laura, and the associated value is 100. Okay, so by this way you can add elements to the dictionary, keys and values to the dictionary. And if you want to delete any particular value from the dictionary, then you can use delete option. These are some of the operations I am discussing. There are many other operations or methods available in this dictionary. So if you want to delete this LoRa, for example, then you have to do delete D of LoRa. And this will remove the values of this particular value, that is LoRa 100 from D. That the key and values will be removed. Now, if you further consider a dictionary, you can also make dictionary in a dictionary. Also, you can make these values as a list. For example, if I need this key which is associated with the dictionary, sorry, which is giving me values as a list, then I can use that one also. Okay, so in that case, we can use uh, lists inside the dictionary. For example, we can give you an example like D equal to. So for this, I want to use character as a list of values. So this is equal to some list. Let's say some 20 comma 30. Then another key, John. I can make this John as a dictionary itself. So John has, for example, some English is 80, and then maths I can make it as 6. So here you can like so I'm closing this internal dictionary and the total exam dictionary. So if you print this one, print T, okay, then we will be getting all these dictionary in that previous format we discussed like this, along with this list as well as this dictionary. So it is like a dictionary inside a dictionary or list inside a dictionary. So this particular key is associated with this entire list. Okay. Similarly, this particular key is associated with this entire dictionary. So if you print it like print D of Sharaf like this, then we'll get the entire list. So that will give you the entire list 20 and 30. So this is how we can create a list inside a dictionary or dictionary inside a dictionary. Now we will move to the ideally module to show how this works in that platform. Okay, you can see it now. First we have to define the dictionary. So D, let's say D equal to dictionary. My dictionary is D. Give name as variable name as D. So one is D, comma, two is D, John. Then we have discussed three is you can use any key that is not necessarily to be ordered. So then we have Jack. Now I will press enter. Now I have defined my D dictionary D. Now if you print that one, print D, you can get all the keys and elements in that dictionary. If you want to get any particular element, then you have to give D of, for example, sharp, D of 1, get the value sharp, and I will get that particular value. You can also print that. Print, you can use print command. D of, for example, I want third the value associated with key 3. So I will be getting that. And if you put any other number, for example, D of 7 as we discussed, and if you enter, then it will give me a. But you can also print that one, like print D of 7, for example. Also, we can get the same error. You can also use that get statement. We dot get D for first I will describe the available values. So let's say first d dot get 1, and I will be getting the first value. Sorry, the value associated with that key 1. Okay. And if you try to get any other or any other key which is not available in this dictionary, key of 7, for example, then it will give it will not give anything. Right? You don't get 7. There is nothing. So basically, it is not going to give anything because there is no such key available in this dictionary. Now, if you use print e dot get 7, now you get none. That means it is the value is none. No. There is no such values in this dictionary. And you can also use the other statement to print not found if that value is not there in your dictionary. So get, for example, 7, comma, you can put a string not found if it is not there. So not, otherwise it will print a not found string. So if the value is not there, then it will print that. That is also possible. And then we discussed creating dictionary from list. For that, we have given key equal to q as a list setup. Then next one is John. Associated to value. Sorry, first we have to take this right. So John. Then we have okay. So then we have to make another list of values. Values equal to another list, and we have given like 39, 50, comma 35. Now I have to make create dictionary from this two list. For that I have to give d equal to picked of. Then I have to zip these two lists. So this is the first list is key, and one is values. And zipping these two lists to make my dictionary. So this will give me the dictionary D. If you want to get that, then you can directly get that by using D, but I am going to print that in D. Now you get all those values as a dictionary. All those lists that have converted into dictionary, like Saraf is the keys, Saraf, John, Jack, which are keys, and this 39, 50, 45 are the values. Now, if you consider adding any elements to this particular dictionary, then we can write, as we discussed, D of Laura. I'm going to add a new element to the dictionary with key Laura, and the value which I had to write after this equal to some 100. So this value and the key will be added to the dictionary D. So if I print this one, print D now. Now you can see the key and Laura key as Laura, and value 100 is added at the end of this dictionary D. Okay, so if you want to delete that element again, or any element, I'm just giving you an example. So if I want to delete this Laura from this dictionary, then I can use delete option, and in this case it will be deleted. And if you print that dictionary again, you can see that value and key which are gone. can also make list in a dictionary and a dictionary in a dictionary. In that case, I have given example as for Sharaf, P Sharaf. I have defined a list inside this dictionary, and I have used 20 and 30. Then I have taken John as the next key, and for John I have given dictionary, another dictionary, right? So English, which that is corresponding to English, I have given ET, and then we have math. For that I have given 6. Okay, so this is how we make list inside dictionary and as well as dictionary inside dictionary. Oh, sorry. Here, so I have to separate that keys and dictionary by column. So here is column, and here also. So here also I can make a column. I hope it is right now. So if you print that one, print then you can see this dictionary, which is having that list and dictionary inside that dictionary. Also, if you want to get any element from that, then you can take print key of the key associated with this paragraph. Okay. Then we can get that list itself in the form of it. Okay, that's all about the dictionary inside the Python. There are many other operations also associated with dictionary. I have given some of the basic operations. Okay. Python conditionals. So we can also consider as conditionals used in Python. Okay. So in Python we have different conditionals as for example, if else, if else if, in that case if else if, okay, and nested if, like that. So in Python we have multiple conditionals as if, then we have if else, if else, and then we can also have nested if. Nested if. So these are the basic conditionals, some of the basic conditions that we use in Python. Now we will go through all these conditionals. Conditionals will control the iterations. Okay, so that will be having some particular output, whether it is the condition is true or false. Depending on that, the program will go through some particular steps. So we can control the flow of the program by using these conditions. So if you consider the first conditional, that is nothing but if conditional. For this if conditional, the if statement, if you consider, it validates whether the expression follows it is true or false. Okay, and the statement given in the within that if block will be executed if the expression gives or follows the true statement. So this one, the if statement if statement validates whether the expression whether the expression follows whether the expression follows it is true. I think in this case we have so the expression follows it is true or false, and the statement or statements say given within within the if block will be executed if the condition becomes true. So the if statement will be validating, okay, whether this expression followed by this if statement, whether it is true or false. If it is true, then only that if block statements will be executed. Otherwise, it will not be executed. So, for example, you can consider as a equal to 20. I'm just giving you some example here. So let's say b equal to some 40, and I can check whether this a is greater than b or a is less than b. Such kind of conditions I can give, and I can check that. So in such a scenario, we can use this if conditional. So I can check if, then I have to use this bracket, and I have to. Sorry, I don't have to use this bracket here. So if here I don't need this one, it is for the while loop. So if a is greater than, let's check this condition, and I have to use this column. This is important. So if a is greater than, that I have to check. This if conditional will validate the expression. This is my expression a greater than b. Whether it is it follows this expression is associated with this if condition. So whether this expression gives me true or false, that will be checked by this if condition. And if it is true, then only it will go to the statements whatever written in this side. So these are the if block. For example, if I write print in this case print there is greater, for example some string, okay, that I have to print. So if this condition is valid, then only it will go to this statement print a is greater. So this is your if block. This is your if block. So if block will be executed only if this condition is true. If this conditional if give me true value. So if it is false, then it will go to the next step, whatever it is written in this side. So the indentation is must. So if you are writing if here, then you have to use some indent, and the if block will be coming in this. after some indentation. Okay, that is important. So if this is true, then only this printing will be happening. Otherwise, it will go to the other statements. Some statement, if you are having that program here, then it will go directly to that statement instead of this print. Okay, so if this condition is true, so this, the condition is true, then only it will go to the print statement. So if it is true, then it will go to this statement. Otherwise, if the condition is false, then it will go this way. So in this way, we can control the flow of the program by using these conditions. Okay, so the next one is uh, if else conditional. So if else conditional. So for if else conditional, if the condition in if is false and the statement in the if block is not executed, then the statement flow goes to the else statement. Okay? And the statement within the else block will be executed. For example, okay, here we will be having for if else conditional, if the condition if the condition in if is false and so if it is false, then the statement in the if block will not be executed, right? So, and statements or expressions in if block is not executed, then in such situation, the the statement statement flow goes to else statement, else statement, and the statements or expressions in else block will be executed. So I can give the previous example here also. So for example, if A equal to 20 and B equal to 30 or 40, okay, 40. And if I am checking, for example, if A is greater than B, okay. So obviously in this case, A is less than B, right? So I can go for print if A is greater than B, I can go for print A is greater. Okay. Else, you can use else here. So where you have written here, if say at the same position, else will be that. Else, then I can print this. You can write A is not greater than B or something like that. You can write anything. Okay, so what is happening here? So if you use if else statement, if this condition is not true, this condition is not true, what happens? So if it is true, then it will go to this statement. That is if block. This is your if block. It will be executing these statements in if block. But if it is not true, then it will go to the next step, next instruction. When it is false, okay. So in that case, it will go to the else statement, and the else statement also having the else condition, that is also having this block. So this is your else block. So if this is false, if this condition is false, and the if block is not executed, then it will go to the else condition, and the else the block or the statement associated with this else will be printed, which means that the statement in this else block will be printed, executed. So in this case, we will be getting the output will be getting the output will be getting A is not greater than B. That will be printed. Okay, because A is not greater than B, because you have considered A equal to 20 here, B equal to 40. So this condition is false, then it will go to the else. And in else block, we are having this statement, so that will be executed. Okay, so there we have to use this if else conditional if you need any such kind of a flow in your program. And the third one is, as we discussed, if if. So in if condition, if, or I can write it directly if conditional. Okay. So in that case also we have all those element, but this is the if, right? If condition. So this is used to validate multiple statements. When we are having multiple statements, and we have to use this. So in certain cases, we need to validate multiple statements, multiple statements. Okay. So in such situation or in such cases, simple if else, simple if else conditional will not be enough. Okay, and in such cases, in such or in such scenario, we can use L if condition. So, for example, in that case, we have A equal to, so in this case, we have multiple statements. So, if you want to check multiple statements, then we have to use L if conditional. So, let's consider again, we can consider, for example, A equal to 10 and B also and in 10. And I have to check whether if this A is greater than B first. I think I have missed a column here. Check that. No, column is there. So if A is greater than B, then I have to go for print A is greater. And so I also want to check whether A is less than B or not. Okay. So in the next case, I have to use this L if statement. So in this L if statement, I have to consider uh, the next uh, condition, or I have to validate the another expression or statement. So that will be A less than B. So this one I have to check. So I need to check multiple statements. So if A is less than B, then I have to print A is smaller, which means that A is smaller than B. You can write it like that. And if this condition also fails, then I have to go for else. It is basically if else. Okay. So then if that condition also not true, is going to become false, then I have to print A is equal to. Okay, so here we are having multiple conditions or multiple statements to check. Okay, so in that case we have to use elif conditional. So if this is not true, I have to check this one also. So I need to check two here, two different conditions. In such cases, if you want to check multiple statements, then we have to go for elif conditional also. And the last one is the nested if. That nested if. So nested is if is nothing but if all the conditional statement we have explained uh, so far, that can be also nested. Okay? So in that case, we have to nested meaning means that adding the conditional within the block of the parent conditional. So this is we can write it like this: all the conditionals can be nested. So I'm just explaining you this nested if only, but we can next you can use any conditional and you can all those conditions can be nested. Nested means the meaning of this one. Nested meanings or means adding conditional within the block of parent condition. So we have to add a conditional within another condition. Okay? So that is the what we mean by this. What is meant by this nested? Nested means adding conditional within another conditional, and that we can call it as parent condition. Okay? So in this, I can give an example where we have a nested if structure. So let's consider A equal to some 50 and B equal to some 30. Okay, and first I have to check if A is greater than B. Then I have to go to these statements where I have to print A is greater than B. Okay. Then if I write, I have to write the next conditional inside this condition. So this will be my parent condition, parent conditional, and this if condition again I am writing this within this block of this if first if. Okay. So that is what is meant by next. Okay. Nesting means I am writing this conditional within this condition. Okay. So in that case, I am checking again if A is greater than 50. So if A is greater than 50, I can print or I can give some 40. So, so if A is greater than 40, then I have another statement inside this second if block. So print A is greater than 40. And if I want again to check whether if this if A is greater than 80, for example. A is greater than 80 in that case. Then I can print this. So this is some example I'm giving. This is not a program, part of a program. Greater than 8. Okay, so in this way you can have a nested structure, which means that you can include the conditional within a condition. This form is called as nested structure, or this in this case it is nested if structure or if condition, nested if conditional. Similarly, you can nest any of these conditions that we discussed. So now I will go to the program section. I will open the okay. I hope you can see this window. So we will be checking these examples that I have given previously. So is 20 is equal to 40. So first we will use if conditional. So if a greater than b. So in this case, a is not greater than b. So let us use some another a less than b condition so that it will print give me okay, so that print a is less smaller. Some statement also. So in this case, if I'm running this program, then I will be getting a smaller, which will be printed because the condition a less than b is true. Then it will go to this statement. So if this condition is true, then it will go to this if block, which is print a is smaller. And if the condition is not true, then it will go to the next statement that is here. So we do not have any such kind of statement. Now we'll check the if else condition. So let's consider a equal to 20 again, b equal to 40. Now let me check if a greater than b. In that case, I have to print a is greater. That's not going to work because a is smaller in this case, right? So I will be doing else here. This indentation should be same. If wherever we have item, if we have the same indent, we have to write else at the same position. Okay? So in here it is coming like this. So then I have to print a is not. You can write greater than is not greater than. So if I run this program, then I will be getting a is not greater because in this case a is less than b. So it is not going to this statement which is in if block because this condition is false. Then it will directly go to this next statement or instruction. Else it is printing this particular string a is not greater. Okay, that is how else will work. And now if you check for if else if condition, so that is the same example I will take, or I will use the example that I have given. So use 10 is 10. Okay. Now I have to check if a is greater than b. I have to print. I have to print a is greater. Then I have to use elif. In this case, I am using elif condition. So in elif, again I have to check whether a is less than b. In that case, I have to print a is smaller. smart. Using if this condition is also not going to work, then I have to print something else. So I have to print else print. Here I have to give, let's say, a is equal to, right? Is equal to. If I run this program, then I will be getting a is equal to b, because here I am writing a is equal to 10, b equal to 10. So first it will check whether a is greater than b or not. If a is greater than, if it is greater than b, then it will go to this if block. But this is false, so then it will go to the next statement, that is else if. Okay, if so again it is checking this condition, a is less than b, but a is less than b, then again if it is true, then it will go to this statement and a is smaller will be printed, but it is not, again it is not true, so it will go to this next step else, so that it is going to print a is equal to b. Here there is no checking, the condition is not. Okay, it is just a statement. If this is false, then directly it is going to this statement else, and it will be printed a is equal to b. That is what we are getting at here. And the last one we have discussed is the nested if, right? So again, I'm writing a is equal to, I will write some 50, b equal to 30, right? And then I am checking if a greater than b. Okay, then in this, if this is true, then I have to go to the statement print a is greater. And within this statement, again, I have to check the next condition. So if, for example, a greater than 50, greater than 50, right? And within that, I have to write print, have to print a is greater than anything, right? And within this if block, I have to use the next if condition. So if a greater than 80, then I have to print a is greater than 80. If I run this program, I will be getting a is greater, because these two conditions are not valid. Okay, I think I have given some other example. Anyway, so this is a is 50 and b is 30. So first condition, a greater than b is satisfied. It is true, so it will print a is greater. Yeah. The next condition, it will check a is greater than 50, but this condition is not true, right? Because a is not greater than 50, but a is equal to 50. So this condition will not print it. And also this, since it is false, this one is false, it will not go to this if condition, because this two comes in the second if block. So this part will not be executed by the if you give some other value here, suppose a greater than 40 something, then it will be rendered a is greater than 50, and this condition also will be checked. And this, if it is greater than 80, then this will be. So this way you can use the nested if statements or nested if condition.